any other discussion from the audience? If not, oh, sorry, please go forward.
Hello, Nick Hill, Lieutenant here with the Police Department and the Union President. I know we had a vote earlier.
We're not to open this. Don't worry. I'll make sure. Come running down that fast. I thought I was in trouble. All right. 7.10 is a motion to approve the first reading of an ordinance titled Marijuana Commercial Businesses, Chapter 11, and to repeal the existing Chapter 11 Articles 1, 3, 2, and 3. Motion by Councilman Johnson, supported by Councilman Ramick. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Yeses have it, motion carried.
That's okay?
7.11 was removed from the agenda. That brings us
But I'm
to
not
open
supposed to
business.
sigh.
This is our customary practice. I see the clerk is just chomping at the bit, so we'll go to the clerk first.
Mr. Chairman, I have a list. Okay. I have a very busy April schedule and a few dates that the residents might be want to be aware of. Shred Day is Saturday, April 15th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it's in the parking lot here on Pine Street. Free for Taylor residents, and we do this in conjunction with Taylor Rotary. It's free to Taylor residents. However, the Taylor Rotary is there, and they do accept donations. So they come in, they bring about probably 4 to 6 of their Rotary members, and they help out. And it's really appreciated. It is a great day. You can bring 2 to 3 small boxes because once the truck is full, if it's full before 1 o'clock, basically it's over. So hopefully that doesn't happen. It usually doesn't.
If I could ask, if you're going, please leave the council chambers if you're going to be discussing or talking. All right, go right ahead.
Saturday, April 22nd, we have a cemetery cleanup at Oak Grove Cemetery, which is the cemetery off of Van Warren and First Street. And it starts at 10 a.m. and I usually say 10 a.m. to noon, but if we have to be there longer, we will. That is Saturday, April 22nd, and then Saturday, April 29th, we have kind of a double day with cemetery cleanups. We'll start at Golden Ridge right here down Goddard off of McKinley. Well, that'll start at 10 a.m. until noon, and then we'll move over to Oakdale, which is off of Telegraph, just north of Pennsylvania.
That does remind me that our budget review starts next Monday, April 10th. I believe the first overview is at 6 p.m. on Monday. Okay, everybody got that? Tara will keep us in line. I think we've got 500 notices for every single. That's good. I know it's true. All right, any further discussion, Mr. Mayor?
Mr. Chairman, I want to touch on one thing. It's more of a statement. Item 6.1 was brought to you guys today. I asked our police chief, I asked Officer Hill if he received any input from anyone. He did say one person reached out to him. Just want to let everybody know that we did send out comparisons, so I hope you all saw those. The next situation, we don't really know where to move on from here, why the no vote. So if anybody wants to discuss that, or if they want to send me their input on that, as far as negotiations. But I will continue to bring fair and honest contract for the residents and for our officers and employees. And I just want to give you an idea that the next step in this process will probably be arbitration, which they look at comparisons of other municipalities. I just wanted everybody to keep that in mind.
So false.
And this would be probably a good time, I know, that wanted to address the council.
Through the chair, I'd just like to add that I'm going to do everything I can to retain great officers that we have that we can't beat.
Again, Nick Hill, Lieutenant with the Police Department, also the Union President. Again, like the Mayor said, we did work very hard on this contract. I believe this is, and I mistake if I'm wrong, I know it's been at least 40 years, but I think this is the first time in city history that a command contract has actually been turned down by council. I'll have to look that up to see exactly, but I believe not 100% pleased, which is normally a good way to say that the contract is negotiated fairly. Again, I reached out to everybody, if anybody had a question. I wish we could have talked. I think that a little bit of conversation with everybody would have went a long way to the full understanding of everything that's in the contract. This contract affects 11 officers. It's 11. Out of the 11, if you took the top 6 in that union right there, the top 6 of us average 22 years of law enforcement that could retire at any time. The next person in the union to us has 11 years on the job. They've been road officers. I know people are worried about promotions. We just promoted Sergeant Vines last week. We just promoted a lieutenant last week. We just promoted a commander last week. The promotions are there. The big portion with, I think, and I don't know the exact argument or what it is. I wish I did so we can actually have a conversation with it. I truly do. I think it would go a long way. I did hear, the drop program is kind of a topic of a lot of people's conversation, which, okay, that's great. But talking about it is the main thing. With the drop program, you're keeping officers. During this time right now, not only in the city of Taylor, but across the country in Michigan, nobody is knocking on doors to get hired. When I started 21 years ago, there was a auditorium of 400 people fighting for 3 positions. They were able to take the 3 top people out of 400 for 3 spots. We need to hire 20. We have a list of 1. Okay, one person coming to the city of Taylor to be here. 1. We have 3 officers who are retiring this year. When I started with 110 police officers, we're at 69 right now. Okay, losing 3, a gain of 1. We're going to be at a net loss of 2 here. Again, we have to keep the experience that we have because there's no one backfilling those jobs right now. Nobody is coming. Again, it's very competitive. When you look at comparables, we're at the low end of our comparables, the very low end of our comparables. We're the biggest city. We handle the most runs. We do the most dangerous job of anybody in the downriver area as far as law enforcement goes. So I think there's a lot to be said about that. As the command officer's been there, and the lowest paid, but with the most responsibilities in the downriver area. I think that has a lot to say. Again, I would love it for come up for another vote here, and some discussion actually be had to actually discuss some of the issues that I think could have easily been addressed with the conversation. If not, hopefully we can move on and get a contract set. I really don't know where to go at this point.
Let me propose to the council that if the council wants to discuss this, it is a contract. It was normally discussed in closed door session, not in open meetings, because it is 2 sides of the table of the negotiation. Just pointing that out. If someone wants to have further discussion, that would require a motion to go into open session.
Chairman,
Yes, Council.
without discussing the contract or anything, I don't speak for myself, but I think all of us research things in our own way. We all research things in our own way, and I thank you for your email. I did personally reach out to different cities and did some research for myself. So I appreciate your comments, but I didn't want you to think that I made a vote today without truly considering it. Thank you.
Council.
Now we've talked about the drop program, and we explained it. It was brought up, not by me, brought up by the union.
Through the chair, I think an explanation on the drop program.
And I don't think this is necessarily a contract. This is a drop. We're not unique to the drop. This isn't saying our contract.
It's a contract, though.
Yes, but I'm saying this isn't a unique thing with the drop. It's generic.
Questions have been asked. You're not required, but if you'd like to explain the drop program.
No, I'm ready. Yes, I'm not ready. So, an officer with 20 years, there's 2 tiers of what the union is right now, right? There's only 8 officers total in the police department under the old pension system, all right? 12 out of 69 officers, I'm sorry, it's 9 out of 69 officers have that old pension system. 3 are leaving this year, so we're down to 6. 5 are your command officers that have that. The drop system is in place right now with those top tier guys. They can drop at 20 years and stay 5.
Explain it.
Okay. So what happens in the drop program? I know a lot of people say it's double dipping. Okay, that's what you hear a lot. It's not. What it is instead in being reinvested with that money and not coming to me.
But you do get it.
What's that?
You do get it.
At the end, yes.
Does it draw interest?
You only get 2% interest on it.
So it's not, is it held inside our pension system?
Yes,
Okay, so it's kept inside the police and fire pension.
correct.
And then when you get paid, you pay you an extra 2%.
You get 2%. Right now, if you look over, I mean, we'll go 10 years, right? If you go 10 years on the pension system right now, we're averaging roughly 8 to 9% in profit is what we're at. Our goal is 7.6. We're above that goal, and in 10 years, we're in the top 2%, top 2% quartile in the entire state of Michigan.